one and all. Do you want to roast some marshmallows by the fireplace? Because I can feel it right now. Oh, it's the future of Xbox as a company. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome to That Gameplace Live. Today we're in for a heck of a show because Xbox is doing a lot of things that seem like the opposite of being a money magnet. I think they need to find one of those self-help gurus on YouTube to make the mega millions in the side hustles because, Chief, this ain't it. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the demise of Xbox here tonight. We also have some major movie news, and one of the most iconic video game movies is actually getting a sequel that was recently announced here. And also, Nintendo has once again shocked all of gaming, but only in the way Nintendo could. It's very weird. We also got some Sonic the Hedgehog news coming up and some craziness going on about Japanese companies reacting to the philosophies of Western studios. We're definitely in for a ride here, but I can't do it alone. I need my co-host, Culture Casino.
Oh.
Hi, Kevin. Culture. You're not Culture Casino.
Here, let me.
Culture's gonna kill you. Yes, but no, the man, the myth, the legend of That Gameplace, Kevin Apollo is here. How are you doing tonight, good sir?
My brother, it's always good. It's always a good time when I get to hang out with you, and we have some fun, bizarre stuff to talk about. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we were a little information for all those in the audience right now, all of you, which thank you all for joining. I see all of you in the comments here, and we'll feature you guys here very shortly. But we were watching a certain YouTube video before we started that we'll be covering today, and oh my gosh, guys, I'm here with more questions than I have answers. But yes, as you can see, Culture, my normal co-host here, is actually not present today. He has some travel and such going on, so we wish him the best. But, I figured, me and Kevin could rock out the show, have a good time, get the brothers going on in here, but I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to invite a special guest on tonight. I'd like to introduce you all to a friend of mine for a very long time, co-writer of a lot of Lost in the Files episode, and the Twitch stream extraordinaire himself. Please, everybody, may I introduce to you Chase?
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing so good. I'm so ready to be here.
Yes, well, we're glad to have you. So correct me if I'm wrong, you are a Twitch streamer, am I correct?
Sure thing.
Where can the people find you?
My user on Twitch is Hey I'm Ender, so that's where you can find me. Same thing on TikTok, so yeah.
Awesome. And I know you cover you play a lot of games on there. What kind of games do you cover?
Main thing I'll be playing is Overwatch. Can't say I'm addicted, but I did play a few hours before the stream, so just saying. Yes. I'm ready. Okay.
Oh man, bring it on, bring it on. Hey, you know what? Anytime I see Diva in the news, like I'm the first one, I'm like jumping on. We're covering on TGP right now. But no, I was so disappointed. I was looking up Overwatch before the stream started, and I saw like there was no crazy. For once, they weren't being stupid. I thought they were going to do something dumb, like they were going to be like, oh, we're going to charge you for skins from 20 years ago, and you got to pay $3,000 or something like that. But no, they've been on good behavior, and I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to rage bait now? No, I'm kidding. But it's an honor to have you here, man, to bring in your takes and everything. And please, everyone in the chat, please welcome Chase to the stream. And I hope we're in for a very good stream ahead of us. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead. This is normally when I have Culture bring up the comments, but I'm like, oh, I'm the only one with that power here now. So you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about who and all is in the audience. Starting with the awesome Juliet saying, evening, That Place panel and chat. Juliet, it is wonderful to see you here. You're always rocking, doing the mod work. So thank you very much for joining. We also have Davina Duckworth, routine viewer of the show. Always appreciate her presence. So, yes, the title is a little weird. We have That Park Place on there instead of That Gameplace, so I'm going to go yell at Culture about that eventually, like a gentleman with style. We have Maddie. We have, let's see, you and Kumia. Ooh, good to see you. Usually showing up from the Tooney Town TV stream, so good to see you. We have some fun people here today. But you know what? That's not everything, everybody, because guess what? People They love us. Chase, they love us. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because they are sending us mucho dinero with Ruby Hooves giving us a $5 super chat saying, have fun. So thank you so much, Ruby. It's always fun and a pleasure whenever we get a chance to see you on here. Like, I cannot stress enough, the support makes a huge difference. And, yeah, no, so thank you very much for the super. And, you know, we're going to keep this arcade going. They're going to make documentaries, you know, about like, oh, some arcades are closing down because the kids are too busy with their Fortnite at home. This arcade's going to be open for the rest of our lives. So thank you very much, Ruby Hoop. Yes. Oh, God, could you imagine that night shift? Kevin, I know you've worked a million different jobs. So you used to do like a movie theater, right? Could you imagine working at an arcade at like 3 a.m? What would that be like?
No, that'd probably be super creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Five Nights at
It'd be like IHOP at 2 a.m. Yes. Oh yeah, the video's also getting into it. It says rest in peace Game Pass. Oh yeah, that'll be the headline. We'll get into that very shortly. But you know, before we get into the disastrous fall of a certain gaming company, we have to actually report on something that is actually a win for them. And we're going to see the timeline. It's going to be a rise and fall per se. But let's go ahead and get into our first story. All right. Coming at you from the folks over at IGN. All right. Coming at you from IGN, the headline states, a Minecraft Movie 2 and The Simpsons Movie 2 currently set to release on the same day in July 2027. This comes to us from Wesley Yin Pool, so thank you, Wesley. The article states, Warner Brothers has announced the movie sequel we all expected, Minecraft 2. It's due out on July 23rd, 2027, the same day as Disney's The Simpsons Movie 2 is due to hit theaters. Okay, that just sounds weird to say. Disney's The Simpsons Movie 2. Kevin, do you remember in the Simpsons movie where Bart grabs the bra out of the luggage or whatever, and he's licking like the mouse ears? And he's like, "I'm the head of an evil corporation."
Simpsons called it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they predict everything. So, but this wasn't too hard to predict, as Hollywood is set for an explosive blockbuster movie showdown on that date. But given a Minecraft movie made an eye-watering 957849195 metric but Tama Mummy at the global box office following its April release, The Simpsons has a tough job competing. Warner Brothers reserved the July date for an untitled Minecraft sequel, so we don't have a name for it just yet. So the movie may end up called something else. What we know for sure is a Minecraft movie director, Jared Hez, returns for the sequel, and he's on writing duties alongside Chris Galata. The expectation is Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and co. will return for the follow-up. Plot details remain deep in the mine for now, teased by Warner Brothers. But what we did get, though, was a teaser image. So we do get to see a little bit of a glimpse of what we might be expecting in the new sequel.
A pickaxe.
Now, yes. Pickaxe confirmed, people. We're going to clickbait the heck out of that one. So, Chase, you're our guest here. I'm going to give you the first word on this. I know that you've definitely been a big-time Minecraft player over the years. In fact, we used to do some of the servers a bit together way back in the day. Yes, yeah. Back in my day, we were still playing in beta mode in Minecraft, and we believed in Herobrine. And okay, I'll stop being an old man for a second. But what's your take on this, Chase? Do you think this is a good move for Warner Brothers after the success of the Minecraft movie? And what do you expect to see in this new installment?
I think the first movie was very controversial with what people said about it. I feel like there was a love it or hate it relationship. A lot of people were expecting more because they're long-time fans. So they were like, oh, the Minecraft movie is coming out. I can't wait to see like the lore. And then it turns out it's Jack Black and he's flying around in an elytra or like something that, you know, that made a lot of fans upset. But also I went in with the mentality that this is for nostalgia purposes. And that was my mentality with it. I wasn't expecting it to be the next best thing. I was expecting it to be Minecraft from my childhood. And so for me, second movie, I think it's okay. I think it'll be interesting to see. Don't know where they're going to go with the story because I will say the first one was cheesy. But, you know, I feel like that's kind of what you get when you put Minecraft in a movie. You know, like there's giant cubed people walking around. What can you do with that, you know?
Hey, it's already doing better than Roblox. I mean, at least people are
Roblox
happy with
movie
these blocks.
confirmed. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. No, better yet. I want a movie based off of all those. Okay, anyone in the audience, y'all remember the Minecraft knockoffs that came out around the time when it first started getting big in like 2013? It's like, hey, I'm playing Block Party Extravaganza on my Wii U right now, everybody. It's totally Minecraft. Kevin, so I know you are a daddy and you have a family, and I'm assuming, have your kids seen the first Minecraft movie?
Not yet. They are still busy watching people play Minecraft on YouTube. So,
Ooh, okay. So it's only a matter of time there.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
But they do need to take a break from their K-pop Demon Slayers, though, am I right?
Yeah,
and that might be a few years in.
Oh, I can't do it anymore. I'm also baffled. This is why we're getting another Simpsons movie. The Simpsons has continued its epic streak of being unfunny now for many decades, as opposed to just a couple of decades. So I know the movie was good, but come on.
Here's Kevin. You don't know how much this Simpsons movie 2 became the #1 film on my radar. Marvel's dead to me. DC disappointed me with Superman. Like, I am just like, there's so few movies in the West right now I'm truly excited for. But the Simpsons movie, I was there in the theater when it first happened. Probably was too young to be watching it, but well, I saw some things that about Bart Simpson I don't think I ever need to see in my life. But I remember on the DVD, I saw the post-credits scene, and Maggie at the end, they were talking about how it was going to be her first word, and she goes, sequel? And it's been nearly 20 years, and that has never happened. And I've for a long time been a believer that Simpsons needs to go the way of South Park was for a little bit during the shutdowns and up until very recently, where it's more of exclusively specials as opposed to episodes, you know, because I feel like, you know, almost any IP has some potential. And as much Simpsons movie holds such a special place in my heart, and I want it to be good so bad. So I need to ask you, Kevin, how do you feel about this being the same date as the Simpsons movie? Do you think one of them will get moved, or do you think they're going to go toe to toe with each other?
I think Disney's going to move. Warner was to the date first. This would be I think the theater owners would have a legitimate hissy fit, because you're going to split the audience, and that means that it's going to be harder for them to make money. So I just can't imagine that that you know, the Iger company is going to not be forced to change their date. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it either. The name of the game is making money. Why reduce your profits and then go into some weird little theater war that no one wants to see?
What kind of stupid excuse do you think they'll come up with? Oh, Bob Iger needs to watch the film like 12 more times to prep up, you know. There wasn't enough. They ran out of yellow paint, you know, the animators and the storyboards. They ran out of yellow pencils. So, Chase, what do you think? Because I know we actually went to the theater and saw this film together. Do you think this film has a chance to be the massive phenomenon that the first movie was? Because this film definitely struck a heart in particularly the little boy demographic. And it was at a time when, you know, there wasn't a lot of films aimed at that demo. And of course, Minecraft appeals to a very wide margin. But do you think this new film can maybe even broaden the numbers further, maybe expand its audience? Or do you think we might see a lesser box office sequel? Like, what's your take on this?
I think the same group of people is going to watch it again. And will they need to hire like police this time? I don't know, because you heard the stories.
That's one thing too. Let's think about this. Sorry to cut you off, but let's think about this. The chicken jockey people, you know, in a few years, they're going to be a little bit older. So, you know, they might go from like 13-year-olds to 15, 16-year-olds. So maybe in their life, you know, it's like, hey, instead of bringing like a rubber chicken to the Minecraft movie, let's bring rocks or something like that and start throwing it in their edgy teen phase. And it's like, oh, I don't know if the theaters are ready for that.
Yeah, better just watch out. We don't know what's going to happen. I do think it has the same potential. You know, I think it could blow up. I think having the nostalgic Minecraft creators that everyone grew up with in the first movie brought a lot of viewership. So I think if they do that again, and involve them in even more. I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential there.
Kevin, I'm going to give you the last word here. What do you think we can expect to see out of this Minecraft movie? Do you think we had a one-hit wonder, or do you think this is going to have some big potential here for maybe another box office juggernaut?
You know what? No one ever sets out to make a bad movie, so we got to hope that it's still going to be entertaining. No matter what happens, I think they know who their audience is. There's going to, if they just make sure it's fun for the people who want to be there, everybody else has got to kind of fall in line and deal with it. And other than that, like, it is what it is. Just go relax, have a good laugh, and and if you're over 25, be really confused by what you just saw.
I was very confused. I had to, even some of the stuff I should have known I was confused on. Like Minecraft movie, it had a lot of actually YouTuber cameos going on. And there is a big YouTuber cameo that was recently announced that we'll definitely be covering a bit on this channel. But I will say, if I could say it in closing, the Minecraft movie sequel, I think there's potential there. I think we'll probably be getting a bit more of the Enderman. We might actually even get to see the Ender Dragon this time. So who knows? It's got a lot of stuff that's going to confuse a lot of people, but the people it satisfies, there's a lot of them, and they're going to show up in droves. And hey, when we get the first trailer, we'll be sure to talk about it here on That Game Place. Alrighty, we have some wonderful people in the chat I want to give some extra exposure to. Kevin, I gotta do something in the back here. So I need you to be culture for me for a minute here. I'm gonna bring up some supers. If you do not mind reading some of these, good sir, I'd like to feature some of these beautiful people.
Where are my glasses?
Your glasses? It's like Velma. My glasses! I can't see without my glasses. Yeah. Well, if you'd like, I can actually have Chase do the reading if they're not out of reach for you right now.
Yeah, I don't know where I put them, but if the letters are really big, I'll give it a shot.
Just do like a StreamYard, just do like a magnifying glass, just like super close, like bold text on fire. Okay, so, all right, I'll go bring the first one. Chase, do you mind? Ready?
Oh, sure, yeah, I can.
Epic. All right, so I'll go and bring up the first one here now. All right. Bring up the first one here. Who do we got joining us?
We got a message from Carl saying, "Good evening to you all." Good evening, Carl.
Carl, good to see you. And I always love your Rotom icon that you have there with the Clippy. That's always so cool. Hey, routine viewer here at TGP. Good to see you. Let's see. I'm bringing up the next one here.
Scott, I see those Funko Pops in your profile picture. Gotta say, I'm a fan.
Oh no, we've unleashed the beast, everybody. Random side tangent here, because I'm very good at that, if you couldn't tell. This man and his Funko Pops. My goodness.
Oh yeah, I love them.
I got him the Diva Funko Pop a few years ago, and that thing was like 35 smackaroos, because there are people who love these Funkos to the moon. How many Funkos do you own, sir?
Over 200.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I used to have a wall behind me, but then I moved, so I haven't had a chance to put it up yet, which is why my background's kind of boring. I have some, these two, which I don't know what they're right here. Yeah, you guys are both here on everyone else's screen too.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, their backgrounds are a little cooler than mine, but just wait. Okay, next time.
He's gonna show up next week. He's gonna have like Vegas lights behind him, have like the person with the leg going up, but it's like Mario kicking his leg up.
All crazy, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's the next one for you.
Divino, the pick of the litter pickaxe. I'm pretty sure I saw that comment come in when we were talking about when we were like, what's gonna be in the movie? Oh, a pickaxe. Yeah.
Also coming to us here.
We have Blue Sharky 38. I remember when I started playing Minecraft, the newest thing was pistons and Endermen weren't a thing yet. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Fun fact, I remember back in 2010, 2011, when Minecraft was still in beta, I got it before the game actually came out. And I was watching a video by the YouTuber Peanut Butter Gamer on Minecraft. And he was talking about the Endermen as they were new at the time. That was the first time I ever learned what the Slender Man was. And that since then, he's had a whole movie to him and stuff. So there's my random exposure there. Got one coming from Umin Kumia.
So many of the characters in The Simpsons are dead. It's going to be impossible to get excited.
How many have we lost now? didn't they kill off the one teacher who always smokes a cigarette? Kevin, what's her name?
Oh, Mrs. Krabappel?
Yeah, didn't she end up dying or something?
I think she was still alive the last actual episode of The Simpsons I watched is when Bart and Skinner fall on top of the bus and they were playing Duel of the Fates in the background. That is the last actual episode I watched.
I love that one. Wow, it's been a hot minute. I stick around a little bit after the HD switch, but oh boy, that goes back a bit. I remember Simpsons has been on for so long that they've literally been breaking their own canon. Because I saw one, there was like a joke where I think Krabappel and I think Flanders ended up getting like a romance to each other. I think she died and he was sad because he missed her. And there was a joke about it, how her old number sent him a text message and it was like, ha. And then it responded with another ha. It was Nelson and he was trolling him. But then someone commented, it's like, Nelson was at her funeral. And so, like, how did he go from that to being a jerk? It's like, Simpsons don't make no more sense anymore. Also joining us, looks like we have Low Specs Gaming. Very good to see you, Low Specs, coming in with some emojis here. But I think it's time for our headline story. If I can go ahead and get this up going here. Oh boy, burn, baby, burn, because this, all right, you guys ready for some rage and some tears and some crying? You got the tissues, Kevin?
Oh, man, I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right. Here we go. Coming to us from That Park Place by the wonderful WDW Pro, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the boss dude, so iconic I can't even say his name right. Title states, Microsoft has a catastrophic Xbox problem, self-inflicted by Game Pass and currently destroying studios it acquired. All right. Remember when Microsoft could make Halo games that were awesome, dude? Remember when people played those games, paid for those games, and Xbox 360 was the leading console for the world over? Well, those days are long gone now. And the blame must be laid at the feet of Game Pass and a Microsoft cultural push that destroyed the very studios it devoured for intended domination. Kevin, I know this joke is so overused, like really, really bad, but I could just hear Obi-Wan here yelling, "You were supposed to save the industry, not destroy it." One of the clearest indicators of trouble is Microsoft's own earnings disclosures. In the quarter ending June 2024, Xbox hardware revenue plunged 42% year over year. That's not a one-off blip. Hardware sales revenues have declined in 6 of the last 7 quarters because Microsoft lumps console hardware and services under its gaming or Xbox segment. It no longer reports raw unit shipment publicly. Nonetheless, analysts estimate the decline is dramatic. Daniel Ahmad estimated fewer than 900,000 Xbox units shipped in one quarter when comparable to PlayStation shipments were in the millions. But what exactly destroyed Xbox as a brand? All right. So it goes in a little bit about like some of the statistics here. If I could, and like what's showing here, one of the key points was Costco, a major U.S. retailer, reportedly told former IGN host Destin Lagari that it would no longer carry Xbox consoles. If true, this suggests retailers are anticipating lower demand and opting to de-emphasize Xbox hardware in their inventory. Some Reddit users and retailers have claimed that Xbox is being removed from stores because they can't sell it. But you know what I can sell? A wonderful take by Kevin Apollo. Kevin, I'm going to give you the first word here. What is going on with Xbox? Because that's the biggest question here. Because literally, Costco pulling out of that, that's not something to take lightly. They aren't exactly Kmart to where if they pull it off the shelves, well, they're about dead soon anyways. Like, what's going on here?
Well, how can you sell a console that doesn't have any games? What has come out for Xbox? Like, how did we go from the 360 giving you something like every week for a couple of years to you get maybe a game every 6 months during the life of this console? And I think I'm being generous because I'm also including some of those, $19 BS games like that random Star Trek one, the RoboCop game. Like, it's like, what is the actual Xbox in-house game that has driven anybody to want to purchase or even turn on their Xbox. I got one, and it really is just a glorified Blu-ray player. I don't know. If I could go back in time and slap me from getting it, I mean slap me. I would slap myself and say, "Don't do this." I would, but I'm stuck with a $500 paperweight.
You need to go back further, like go to like you buying the first Xbox, and it's like young, hip, teenage Apollo, and you're like, "No, don't go on this dangerous road. It will eventually hurt you."
My very first Xbox was a gift from an ex-girlfriend that she broke up with me. We put an E on it, so it was the Xbox.
That's funny.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Chase, I want your take on this. What do you think is going on with Xbox here, and like, what is happening? What's your unique perspective on all this?
From what I know, I feel like they've invested so much into PC gaming that they've kind of forgot about the console at times. And so, like with the PC Game Pass, that was a big thing when they started that. And then like from what I've seen, so many things have been leaning towards like the PC gaming that the Xbox is like sure, we'll release this on Xbox. It's not like, oh, we're gonna release this on Xbox. You know what I mean? I feel like there's not anything for people to get excited about.
You know that line from The Incredibles where Syndrome's like, when everybody's super, no one will be. And that's how it feels like Xbox as a brand has just so fizzled out. Because like them or not, Nintendo, I'm going to bring them up as an example because I'm the fanboy over here, okay? Nintendo likes to make me mad, and the only ways Nintendo can do that. They have a brand image, you know? They're always stingy about fan creations. They have expensive products. They're protective of their IP, yada, yada, yada. PlayStation, you know, their image has shifted a lot over the years compared to the against the system type advertising of the OG PlayStation, which they should go back to. But, you know, PlayStation still has a brand and an image and an audience. I don't think it has any games for it right now, sans like Stellar Blade and Astrobot. But I know Marvin Mantanero, editor-in-chief of That Park Place and routine member of the channel here, he will vouch for it. He thinks that system has games for it, and I have to respect that. Xbox, I look at this brand, and I have to ask, who is your market? Because anytime someone tells me they're an Xbox gamer, I never understand, like, so what do you play? I've gotten answers before, like Forza and stuff like that, but their audience has shifted so much over every single console iteration. I feel like they don't have an identity. And with them moving all of their stuff over to the PC, like your point there, Chase, you have to where, what's even the point of buying Xbox now if you can just get a great PC that may or may not even include Xbox? Well,
especially how much they charge for consoles. Like, I'm gonna just get a computer and I can do everything I can do on a console. You know what I mean?
Yes, you don't even need Xbox. You can just get Steam.
And I don't need no batteries for my remote because we still don't have rechargeable remotes on default for Xbox. Please tell me why. Like, why do we have batteries? Okay, listen, I don't want to go to the Dollar Tree in the middle of my game to go get a AA battery when I could have just plugged in my remote. Like any other modern console, like I can't even. Don't even get me started. I don't know what's happening. I'm glad they're holding on to something of the past, but that's not what I would hold on to.
Oh my gosh, Kevin. So, do you think that Xbox has any sort of future ahead of us? Is there any saving this brand? Because I'm even listening to like Phil Spencer, who I believe is like the director, he's basically the Reggie of Xbox, you know, directing like CEO, whatever, all that stuff's going on. People associate Xbox a lot with Bill Gates, but he isn't really as hands-on with this type of stuff anymore. And even then, he just sounds like a beaten horse. He's like, yeah, where things aren't looking too good, guys. Like we got some stuff on Game Pass, and it's like, guys, what are you doing here? What are you doing? So, what do you think is going to show up for the future of Xbox? Is there any chance we're going to save this ship?
No. This it's sinking. We're not quite at the point where, like in Titanic, where it breaks in half and the guy bounces off the propeller. That's how you know it's over. but
Never let go, Gates. Never let go.
But they did smash into the iceberg, so we're just watching the inevitable happen. How long have we been talking about it? Almost like a year now, right? Like we get it. We know that they are tired of spending a whole bunch of money on generating the consoles and storing the consoles. It's a money loser for them. They decided that they were gonna gobble up every smaller developer under the sun and then destroy them. So now there's no innovation, there's no games coming out. They just they did it to themselves. And I guess I have to go back, like, just remember how exciting the 360 era was.
Yes,
it's
this 360 was good.
Yeah, like this really wasn't that long ago to be in this spot. Like I think the only people to do it faster was Sega, but in between they had like 3 disastrous system releases. So I get it. What's the excuse here other than you got the wrong people fielding your games division and you're suffering dearly for it.
And I don't think they can honestly keep up with PlayStation anymore. They just can't keep up. Like the fact that GTA 6 is coming out exclusively on PlayStation for the first, like, what, I don't know, is it 6 months or a year? I don't know. But like that, right? The fact that they can get that kind of deal, that just is like, oh, I know that's a big fan base right there. That's a lot of loss for Xbox.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have any sort of saving for it. And so you would think that, okay, so we need to find a way to fix this. There's clearly something wrong. We've made our fans extremely upset. Well, they also just got news, ladies and gentlemen of the chat and the audience at home, that Xbox Game Pass is getting a price hike. That's right, everybody. You can pay even more for Xbox Game Pass. Now, this article is from The Guardian. It's a little bit of a lot of words, a lot of like specifics here on like amounts and stuff like that. And it's a little bit, no offense to the article, it's a little bit of a slog. So instead, I'd like to just more so shift focus of what's been going on in the greater industry here, where I've been seeing the reactions on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Xbox fans are completely befuddled. Like, how? How could you be okay with doing a price hike when your brand is about as dead as dead? There were people, did either of you two, Kevin and Chase here, see the trends where people were literally taking pictures of like their computers or their TVs, probably more so their computers because they want everything to be PC these days, and just taking pictures of canceled Xbox Game Pass subscription, canceled.
Oh yeah.
This isn't just like your normal outrage of hashtag renew the acolyte or hashtag boycott Nintendo Switch 2. These are literally people deciding they're opting out. They're deciding to cancel their Game Passes. And I think that this is a canary in the coal mine. Chase, Game Pass price hike. Is there logic at all in this? Is there any sort of brain cells in this decision?
Well, from what I've seen, now I cannot back this up with any sources, so this might be the wrong number, but I saw people who were saying it went up $15. I don't know. Is that an accurate amount? Somewhere around there. And I'm like, that is insane. Okay, listen, when I got Game Pass when it first came out on the, like, whatever the one was on the computer, it was $5 a month. And let me tell you, that was a steal. That was a W for Xbox. They released all these games, $5 a month. And I was like, they had to get so many people that signed up for that. But then they did their first price hike and they changed it to like 15 or something. I don't know. That's when I decided to cancel, because it's like, I don't play new games that often. I've already played the games I want to play. It's over now. So it's like, it's just not worth it to me. So now that they're doing it again, I'm not surprised I see people canceling it. And I mean, if people want to spend, how much is it a month? Like at this point, like $35, I don't know, whatever they're spending. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the game at this point and I can just have it forever. So why am I paying for it?
I was hearing like 25 to 30. I'd have to double check because it's in like British pounds, and like I'm a bloody American who can't figure out this stuff. Like some people could be like, yeah, Danish pronouns for 4. And that's why whenever I get a super chat, I'm just like, for 5, for 4, because y'all, I that math school money, I kind of sucked at that. But you know what? Who doesn't suck? Kevin, what the heck? Is there a reason here going, because I about 100% agree with Chase on this. Do you think that there's like some inconsistencies here, though? Do you think that there's a very good reason they might be doing this?
If the reason is they don't like money, then sure. I guess that's a good enough reason. You jack up your prices after you announce that you had a couple $1 million in profits, off of the Game Pass. Like don't you guys pass memos around and let someone know, hey, we're gonna jack up the prices. Maybe let's not tell them we made like $5 million off of them, and now we need another 8 million more by next week. I saw someone in the chat threw up that they crashed the cancel site. I'm not shocked. You juggled around the tiers for whatever reason, gave them fancy, lame, stuffy names to try to make you feel better about spending money you don't want to spend. I mean, at the end of the day, like, how many games are you really downloading? Every month. The pricing. I think, what is the elite one? Is that's the most expensive one? I think what is that like? That's almost like $35-$40 a month, something like that. You might as well.
Okay, Juliet. It's top base. It's $30.70. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So just go to GameStop and keep the game forever.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. The whole fundamental point of these streaming platforms, going back to however long it was, and these companies don't seem to understand anymore, was you pay less for theoretically more. I remember I had times where, like, say I was having a date, okay? And we were playing a bit of like the Nintendo Switch online service. And when you're someone like me who just like attention span just jumps all around the place, it was fun because those streaming services gave you an opportunity to jump from Doom 64 to next thing you know, you're playing Super Mario World or something like that. But you were only paying like $5, $10 a month, and you were getting like an expansive catalog. Nowadays, when you put something up for $30, that's like what, $10 cheaper than a new Sonic the Hedgehog game at this point? Like,
and how many of those games can you actually fit on your console? 2?
Yes,
they're
because
huge.
they're astronomically huge. And we're going to have more about that because I know there's some weird stuff going on with Call of Duty about that. But it's one of those where it seems at this point, they just want this to be the normal practice. They want the money, but they don't want to give you any sort of service or bargain and such. And I think the critical thing that goes down to Xbox as a company is they have completely lost the fundamental core of a gaming company, which is the gamer. I understand that you need to be able to sell a product. If every art piece, could just be, a gamer's paradise or whatever, the gaming industry would look very different. I understand stuff needs to sell, and sometimes stuff that costs too much money needs to be canceled. We've seen that in the industry with some of these games having like a 9-year-long development. We had some unfortunate cancellations here recently. I believe there was like a Perfect Dark game that got canceled, whatever have you. Maybe those games weren't going to make that much money to begin with. Gaming is a huge gamble. It costs a lot of money to make, but when you reap the rewards, it's going to make way more than your movie likely ever will. However, Xbox, I feel like, has completely lost the gamer. And without any of that, why should people show up when Nintendo's over there, PlayStation's over there, and oh yeah, Steam is over there, and Steam has like games for almost anybody and everybody. So Xbox, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I think you got to make some changes because you're having an identity crisis, and the last thing I want to do is eventually reporting on, well, Xbox is opting out of consoles completely, and we're going to cover it here on That Game Place. I don't want to make that headline. But you know what I do want to talk about is our wonderful chat, people. All right. So I get the next story going on. Chase, I'm going to bring up some chats here if you would like to read from the beautiful, beautiful people in the chat. Okay,
sure thing.
Let's go ahead.
From Douglas, when everything is an Xbox, what is an Xbox? Great question. You know what? What is an Xbox other than a glorified paperweight? When everything's a paperweight, what's a console? That should be the question.
Let's see. I got the next one here.
From Zippy DSM Lee, hence why Xbox brand was always a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you even look at their launch titles and how bizarre of an assortment it was. But, you know, I feel like it still resulted at least in some sales. Kevin, what was your go-to game on the 360?
Well, I'm fixated on Grumpy Cat Cthulhu right now.
The avatar. Zippity DSM, what is your icon? And why is it staring into my soul? But, you know, I still will pet the kitty. It looks like a good kitty right there.
Let's see. My go-to was Mass Effect 2 and Fable.
Oh, Fable for sure. I just replayed Fable 3 actually. Such a great game.
Marvin and I had radically different worlds. Mine was pristine and happy, and his was a nightmarish hellscape.
What did he usually play?
Marv used to play as the most evil you can make your character in the game.
But I love that, though, because, I mean, there was a lot of variety, you know, and what kind of stuff you could play. Identity Crisis is very different from having a large assortment. Now they just have a large assortment of nothing. And I think that's summed up pretty well in this next chat right here, if you'd like to read it, Chase.
From Davina, Forza is on PlayStation now. So even that exclusive that kept Xbox afloat, hey.
I'm telling you, man, I think I don't think we're even 6 months away from them saying they're out of the console business.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think this comment here from Scott Summers says it pretty well. Is Xbox supposed to crossplay PlayStation games? And yeah, that's another thing. I heard about that. Oh my goodness. Do you guys remember that whole thing a few years ago where I think someone at Xbox contacted Nintendo and they were like, hey, let's see if we can buy Nintendo or something like that. And it's like, they only have one thing, buy company. And when they are stop being able to buy anymore, it's just like, okay, now it's like the villain in a movie. If you can't destroy it, now you must integrate to it. Like you're the Borg. Like,
so Xbox is now a Disney company.
Oh my gosh. Chase, read the next chat before I start crying
From
about
Low
that.
Spec Linux Gaming, embrace, extend, extinguish. They had a long history of this.
Yeah, valid. Very, very valid.
Again, from Davina, I think the handheld manufacturers are trying to grow in the former console space, such as against the Nintendo Switch 2, Lenovo Go, MSI Claw, Asus ROG Ally.
I think that's valid. You know, they got an uphill battle, but you know what? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And you know what? They're very good at falling these days. So, I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening.
Can we get some? Can we get a good look at Davina's most recent comment? Bye, NSYNC. I feel like that deserves some credit.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
because I was thinking it too.
I blame the fall of Microsoft and the Xbox brand on Justin Timberlake. NSYNC, yes. Any of them. I will blame all of them. I will blame every brand it is until I start getting DOA on my Xbox again. That's how it's going to be. Also want to say, so happy. Pam Epson's here. Happy to see you, Pam. Let's see. We got a new one joining here if you would like to read.
From Douglas. Earlier it was as I cannot read myriad of cheap demos, but now it's just lunacy. Scale is an issue. Sorry, I'm definitely dyslexic, but I can read. You know what? From Pam, the hype button does not appear until the replay is uploaded. Please replay the live to help the channel.
Yes, please. You can help support the channel here. We're not going to be like one of those old PBS ads, you know, where they're like, please call us, please, or Wikipedia every few months. Guys, we're starving for money. Please support the site. We're not going to do that. But your support always makes a difference here, and we love each and every one of you. I'd marry y'all if I could. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into our next story here, gentlemen. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Yeah. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. If you know, you know.
Oh my goodness. Oh wait, no. I want this story. From Games Radar. There we go. Okay, everybody, let's jump into this bad boy. All right, coming at you. Coming from Games Radar, the headline states, Call of Duty drops a whopping 100 gigabytes on PS5 and fans think it's due to Battlefield 6. Competition is always good for gaming. This comes to us from Issy Van Der Videl. That is a name. I respect you, kind person. I respect you. All right. Even though we've gone from tiny 8 megabytes memory cards to 1 terabyte solid state. Pop up. Okay, you can go like that Goomba and Mario and get stepped on by me. Thank you. Okay. Even though we've gone from the tiny 8 megabytes memory cards to 1 terabyte solid state drives, it feels like we have less space than ever due to how massive game files have become. Plenty are well over 100 gigabytes, and Call of Duty was the same until a recent update reduced it to a much more manageable 25 gigabytes. Somehow, Call of Duty on the PS5 has gone from a whopping 126 gigabytes to just 25 gigabytes. That's a 101 gigabyte decrease. So it's talking all about this gigabyte stuff. And you guys might be looking at the chat and you guys might be like, you nerds, why are we talking about terabyte space? This is the stupidest thing. I need that clip, Kevin, from The Simpsons where Homer's like, nerds. I need that right now. But I assure you people, there's a reason for this. So, multiple people respond that this is the best thing Call of Duty has done in years. I frequently find myself having to delete a game to make room for another, or in the case of something as big as Call of Duty used to be, having to leave half my game library, so this change is going to make keeping the game installed much less of a burden on people. So, it frees up some space. However, naturally, developers are often looking for ways to optimize their game, but one person believes Battlefield 6 could have been the motivating factor here. Battlefield 6 announces that its minimum install size is 55 gigabytes, which recommended 80 gigabytes, they write. Not even a month later, Call of Duty optimizes its install by reducing it by over 100 gigabytes. Competition is good for gaming. I doubt it took just 1 month to remove around 80% of the size of Call of Duty, but there's a chance that this was done to prepare for people wanting to try both games. Some would simply delete COD to try to install Battlefield 6, and then reinstall it later, or not, if they preferred EA's shooter. Whatever the case, I'm glad I can fit more games with my PS5 now, and that's a win in my book. So, the reason I wanted to cover this story here is there's been a lot of, I guess, speculation on, is this like, are they declaring war against each other and they're trying to do some shady business behind the scenes? Chase, what's your take on this?
So there's actually a lot of stuff in this. So basically, this has been going on for a little bit now. A lot of Xbox players are or just, I guess, console, all the players. I don't know why I said Xbox. I'm still thinking about Xbox from earlier.
We're still sad and depressed. Thanks, Bill Gates.
A lot of players that play Call of Duty are trying to update their Black Ops 6 game. Now, mind you, this is 6, okay? Black Ops 7 just had its beta announced, so there's a whole nother game coming. But for 6, okay, which is the current game, are getting a 450 gigabyte update for like maximum, for the whole game size. 450 gigabytes for the game. And there's this whole thing. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole just to look into it. And there's all these different, you know, like when you have a problem with something and you're like, I cannot find the solution, but you look and there's so many different videos that says how to fix this, and none of them work. That's what's happening here. All these different things that none of these solutions are actually make sense. They're like, oh, just reset your console. Let me just reset my console and lose everything and start from scratch. Thanks for the help. No, but it's actually crazy. The fact that they're getting a game out there that's up to 450 gigabytes. And there's a screenshot here from a Reddit user, and it shows base game 450.6 gigabytes just for Call of Duty. I feel like that is insane. That is insane. Meanwhile, Battlefield over here is only, how big did it say it was? Like it was like, I think it's around 7. Okay, yeah, 80 gigabytes. 80 gigabytes for Battlefield, or you can download Call of Duty for 450. You know, you can choose your battle. But I'm just saying, like, when you're taking up that much storage, there's got to be a point. It's like I have other games I want to play. And now, unless you're like a Call of Duty diehard fan, that's the only game you play and you don't have to worry about it, then you know what? If in that case, it's like I don't really care. But for a lot of people who are variety gamers, which is a lot of the community, there's a lot of casual players out there. They're losing a ton of people just because if they're going to release a game that's 450 gigabytes, then I mean, you're just not going to get people to download the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Some people used to call the Xbox the Halo box, basically, because that was the main thing or the only thing they played on there. Kevin, what do you think of all this? Do you think that this is kind of killing their brand by putting so much gigabytes here, or do you think they're okay?
I don't get it. Right? It's everybody's kind of in the same headspace as as the story. Like, hey, we're tired of having to get rid of our entire library and then waiting for a game to download for 5.5, maybe 16 hours. So you're going bigger, and well, everybody's just going to go home. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, Call of Duty, and not to mention, we covered it a bit here on TGP in the past. Call of Duty actually has a movie that's in development. They're going to be doing a Call of Duty film, and your brand is already kind of taking a backseat to Battlefield right now, and these kind of moves with a feature film coming right now. I mean, if those things were to tank around the same time, it might finally be the thing that could really hurt Call of Duty as a brand, because there are people who are gamers, but there's been always that other bridge of people. There's people that just play Madden, people that just play Call of Duty, but there's a lot more people that play a variety. And if you hurt your fan base too many times, I think you got a bleak future ahead of you. So I hope that these developers can learn that, hey, maybe having like 500 gigabyte file sizes are always the best thing, because I'll tell you, whenever I export a YouTube video and I find out my file's like double the size, I get really mad. I kind of want to slap my computer. So yeah, Call of Duty, I think y'all need to be have a long look at the man in the mirror like you're Michael Jackson, because guys, you got competition. And Battlefield 6, I gotta say, a lot of positive feelings about, and it's very rare these days. I've been seeing a lot of positivity towards a AAA game, so it's clearly doing something right. I've seen a lot of people in the industry being really happy about it. So if Call of Duty can make a good response, we'll definitely be sure to talk about it here on That Game Place.
Well, and if I can say one more thing about that, when
Absolutely.
it comes to sizes of games too, if you have a game coming out that's 450 gigabytes, most people, now I know from a PC standpoint, don't know how it works on consoles, can't say the same, but if you have a PC and your like C drive, for example, is 500 gigabytes, it is recommended you do not put more than like 75 to 80% of stuff on that drive, so that way it can still run quick enough so your PC can keep up. So if you go over that 80% threshold, your computer's going to start slowing down. And so if you're installing a game for 450 gigabytes, but you only have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, you're not only going to be full on storage, but your computer's going to go slow just in general, even if you don't have the game running, because your storage is full. And so you're not only hurting you're not just making it so people can't play other games, but you're literally slowing down their hardware and equipment. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to go play Call of Duty, but first let me go spend $200 to buy a new SSD drive. It's like, that just doesn't make sense.
It's such a commitment. You okay, so you have to look at your Amazon checkout cart, and it's like, okay, I got the game. Oh, got the digital deluxe edition. Got to get that. Gotta get all the fancy skins. Pay the instant shipping so it gets there in time, unless you're a Prime spender, and then you buy the extra terabyte of the WWD drive. It's like, no. I think that's a fabulous take there, and I don't know. I don't like having to make. I might have to start talking to investment people and realtors, because I feel like I have to start checking. Are they gonna start to where when you're buying a game, they need to do can we please include 2 months of pay stubs? Am I wrong on that, Kevin? Do you think we'll start getting background check for our games? They seem like they're already trying to do that Visa. Yeah. Have you played? How much Stellar Blade have you played in the past 2 weeks? Is it the healthy amount? Mario Kart, were you kind to people with that blue shell, or were you a jerk, you know? But all right, so let's go ahead and find out what the chat say, because they got a lot of takes here on what's going on with these. The storage. I feel my heart die every time I see that. So we're starting up here with Zippity DSM Lee.
100 gigabyte games. The art of optimization is dead. Yeah.
I like this next one from Zippity.
Remember when they thought they could stream games to you? Oh, I remember when that was a thing, when stream passes were coming out. You didn't have to download the game, you just stream it off the internet. I actually had that pass on the PlayStation, and it worked pretty well, I will say, but there were some things that went wrong with that too.
Yeah. Is that the one which had SharePlay? Was that the same service, or was that a different one?
I don't remember. Yeah, it did have SharePlay. I think that was a separate service. But you could stream games on the PlayStation 4, and you could just so you don't have to download them, and you could just play them right away. That was really nice, but you needed a stable internet connection, which I did, but I know some people who bought the pass didn't, and they were disappointed. So a little bit of an issue there, but if you had the right equipment, then it was great.
Very valid, very valid. Let's see.
From Low Spec Linux Gaming, I play great old games from 2000 to 2010, mostly instead of upgrading hardware for crappier games. You know what?
Oh my
Sometimes
gosh.
it's like that. I pulled out my PlayStation 2 the other day to play some classic games because I was like, you know what? Because this is when my internet was out. I was like, I don't need internet to play my PlayStation 2.
I know, right? It's just so appealing because I've had days before where, y'all ever have a day where, you're just in a mood, like everything's just making you angry. It could be, maybe you're on X and someone said something different from your politics, and instead of responding to that person, you're going to be the bigger man and you're going to go vent. But, the outside world is kind of scary, sometimes. You want to go touch grass, but it's like the graphics are great, but the gameplay isn't always that great in real life. So sometimes, I plugged in Super Mario 64 on my old CRT TV, and it was nice because the moment you click that on, you get it's a me, a Mario. And nowadays, if you want a game to just, relieve stress, because we all need that type of stuff some days. We need games for when we're sad, games for when we're feeling blue, games for when we're happy, games when we're stressed. Sometimes you just need to put in the game in the console, bam, done. It worked for decades. Nowadays, you pull up a game, say I want to play Forza or something like that, and it's like, hey guys, time for a PlayStation update. Mandatory. Or even I just want to play maybe a new game, and you have to go through all this. You got to go through a pay screens. Even if you go to the physical store and buy a game, you still have to go through a million hurdles. I have to wait an hour before I'm playing the game, and I don't know.
Oh, because adult life is huge.
Yeah. And a lot of the times you're not even buying a cart and you're getting all the gigabytes built into the game card. You're buying a pass like the game keys with Nintendo, and you're basically just getting a license to play it. And I don't know. I find that ridiculous.
From Blue Sharky 38, my computer barely has that much storage. Yeah, 500 gigabytes. That's how much is on my C drive. I have 2 terabyte D drive as well, but my C drive, that's what runs the fastest. So it's if I want to play a game that I'm dedicated to, which is Overwatch, I have that on my C drive. If I wanted to play Call of Duty and that, there's no way they could both fit.
I was trying to play Tomb Raider Legend, or no, it was Underworld on Steam the other day on my computer. My computer is only 5 years old, and it crashed on me. And I'm this is a 5-year-old computer, and it was a good build, and I still had it to where it's because this stuff still isn't perfect, and I just kind of long for I put Mario in my GameCube, and it goes, it's a me. I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. From Davina, we have Microsoft requires a minimum of 64 gigabytes for Windows 11 and its updates. So if you have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, you are not able to download Call of Duty because it's too big. Okay, it's that, if it gets to that point, then it's okay, there's something wrong here. Now, obviously, the thing is with Call of Duty, there's so much extra content that doesn't need to be downloaded. So they need to have a more of if you play just multiplayer, then you can download this. If you play this, because there's so many different versions, here, you're gonna have to download all this, even though you only play 10%. We're gonna make you download everything. And for a while, they had it so you could download just one certain thing, but it's a mess.
Complete and utter mess.
Just like their marketing, okay? From Donovan, dear God, what happened to gaming? You just bought the game, and that was the end of the story.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I used to put the DVD or the CD right into the disc or whatever. Now you have to tell me I thought when I played Halo 4 for the first time and it had 2 discs, I was like, are you kidding me? I have to install with a second disc, and it took like maybe 20 minutes. Now I have to my internet's good now. Thank you. But before I was like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to wait how many hours for like this Fortnite update? It's like, okay.
I remember the days of Final Fantasy VII had Kevin. Was it 3 discs or 4 discs? How many discs was 7?
It had 3 discs. 3 discs.
3 discs. And you know what? You put that disc in, bam, it was going. That disc could handle the Severoff action in that thing right away. And you mean to tell me this high-tech PlayStation 5 can barely run Astrobot? Come on, man. Come on.
You had to suffer through Sephiroth's his booster attack, all 8 minutes of the cinematic, and it did it just fine, no lagging.
Oh man, we got one more going on here.
From Low Spec Linux Gaming, dude, what? Tomb Raider Underworld ran on my 11-year-old Pentium laptop. Although there are also lots of examples of old games running better in Wine than modern Windows.
That is very true. And that's the thing. It's like, especially when it comes to old PC stuff, is like, I've had times before where I've tried to get like some of the old LucasArts stuff to work or old Roller Coaster Tycoon. And it's like, why is this so painful? Why do I feel like playing a game now is like going to the doctor's office? I'm about to get a prostate exam. Like, I don't like it, people. I just want, I want to play my game and be happy again. Kevin, is that too much to ask for?
I don't think so. I think we deserve to be able to play whatever game it was that Mara Jade was in and have it look like how it looked when we were all younger versus going, what happened? Why is no one talking? Why does everybody have a stuttering problem?
Yeah, and
gosh.
I'll just throw on Black Ops 7 requires you to have Windows 11. It's required, or you cannot get the game.
Wow.
Now, all these people, I'm sure it's been covered here. I don't know if you guys have covered it before, but the Windows, I don't know if you guys heard about the Windows 11 controversies that were going on. Basically,
please share.
Well, basically, Windows 11 requires you to have a certain security feature on your computer. And the way Windows had it on their website, like if you go to the Windows help page after running the thing, can I upgrade to Windows 11? It said, like, out of like the solutions, it said, get a new computer. That was the solution. It's like, I have a like $2,000 gaming PC that's Windows 10 that can't be upgraded to Windows 11 because of some security feature missing. And you're telling me just to get a new computer? Because absolutely not. Are you kidding me? You think I'm going to spend that? But now we have games like Black Ops 7 that requires you to have Windows 11 on it in order to play the game. So it's putting you in a situation. It's like, okay, do we play the game and get a new computer? Okay, add it to the list. New computer, new storage, Black Ops 7.
Join
How much are we at already?
It's becoming like you're going to the local a used car place, and the dealer's trying to slap a lot of different things on you. It's crazy. And I think this next comment sums up well if you'd like to read it here, Chase.
From Davina, yes, people are getting used to playing on emulators.
Yep, and that's a word companies never like to hear, and we're never
Emulators.
we don't endorse piracy here on this channel, but we do know when it comes to the market is people, the public, when they don't like all the obstacles and the hurdle, a lot of times they like to go the more convenient route. And, you know, like, hey, companies, take note. And I don't think the note is, like, sue the heck out of these people because it probably means there's something wrong with your product. We also have a newcomer joining us here, Donovan Bradford.
Hearing the problems of Pokemon Gold and Silver with how they needed someone to come in and compress everything into a cartridge, and it worked. I think that the issue, those people are gone.
Yeah. There's no more people that can just think outside of the box, because I think now, like, okay, that's probably an overstatement. I apologize on that. But I feel like the problem is it's become so corporate now in the industry that people are afraid to speak up. I remember way back in the day, the people at Bungie, the people behind Halo, they talked about those people like their coworkers, like they were family to them.
Mhm.
Now, like, Kevin, could you imagine going into, like, I don't know, Walmart and saying, I don't like how these sandwiches are being made in the deli. I think we need to do something different. Would anyone actually listen to that guy, even if that guy was the most intelligent man in the world?
Well, let's call it what it is, though. It's like going into Walmart, and you have a team who works overnight, and they stock the shelves, and the store is the best it's ever looked, and you say thank you by firing them.
Well
Thanks for stocking the shelves. Now you can leave. The job's done.
Like that's Western gaming, and I don't think you were overstating it. That is the problem that these places are having now, especially when it's compounded with the larger companies picking up the smaller studios. The people who know how to do this stuff have been chased out or don't exist anymore. So now there is a big knowledge gap right now. And we're not seeing old IPs be revitalized because they don't know how to access. They don't know what to do. So we're kind of stuck there. There's, I don't know how they fix it, but it is a problem. It is a massive problem.
Well said. Well said. But we might have some more problems coming up here in the horizon in our next story here. But I just wanted to say one more time, thank you very much to the wonderful people in the chat. Once again, can't do the show without you. And very intelligent and a lot of takes on games, because gaming has a lot of different kinds of backgrounds. And, there's a lot of people to appeal to, and they seem to be dropping the ball in a lot of different areas. But I don't think this is the only company that's going to be disappointing people, because let's see what Sega has going on. This story coming to us from That Park Place. If you're not bookmarked this site, what ya doing, homie? Come to us by the wonderful Forrest Manus. And I gotta tell you, this guy, routine featuring his articles on the channel. The man is a great writer for the website. Please check out his work. The dude is amazing. But the headline states, Sonic team refuses to do Sonic Adventure remake. Instead focuses on new projects. The article goes on to state, after years of fans clamoring for a Sonic Adventure remake, studio head Takashi Iluzu... Kevin, why am I so bad at pronouncing foreign names?
Nolan, you just need to do what I do and don't say the name. Just skip it. If you want to know the name, read the article.
Yes. No. I'll just start doing aliases for these people. Studio head.
Yep.
Jamarcus has announced the Sonic team is not interested in fulfilling the public demand. Instead, the group is focusing their efforts on developing new titles for the franchise. The decision has invoked numerous reaction online, with critics stating that a Sonic Adventure remake would be an easy cash grab, while others view the refusal as a wise choice, citing various instinctive differences associated with remake projects. Sonic Team, on the other hand, says they would prefer to develop new concepts that rather than revisit the old, which is fascinating because you compare this to the movie studio industry, and people are so tired of sequel, remake, spiritual successor, reboot, all women cast, need I go on? Like everything, like how many things can we change about an IP to make it the same thing without being willing to try something new? Chase, what do you think about the idea that Sega seems to want to be doing new Sonic projects as opposed to revisiting the old games?
I think you should never... okay, change is a good thing. I think change can be a good thing. Because in order to stay relevant, you have to change. You have to be able to change with as time goes on. But I think you have to be careful because I don't think you need to be like, okay, well, we're going to ditch everything and we're going to go we're just going to go straight ahead in this new direction that none of us have ever been before. So we're all going in blindly, but I'm sure it's going to go great. You need to have a balance. You can't just ditch everything and be like, okay, well, we've been doing it this way. And it's one of those things. It's like someone's been doing this job for years and it works great for them, but you have a new idea. It's like, do you try to do the new idea? Or it's like, okay, well, actually this guy has a new idea in the factory. So we're all just going to ditch how we're doing it before and just all try it this way and see how it goes. That sounds like chaos. If you just try to start
I got an idea. The gimmick is Sonic is slow in this game. It's going to be perfect, guys. I got it.
Perfect new idea.
Well, for a while there, Sonic was doing that for a bit where they were kind of like, hey, let's use Shadow, but he's got a gun. Let's use Sonic, but he's a werewolf now. Like, I remember that was a trend for a while.
Oh, what a weird time that was.
So there is a case, though, to be made about the Sonic Adventure remake. Sonic Adventure was Sonic's first fully 3D platformer game, and is remembered as one of the most successful games within the genre. In June of 2006, the title has sold 2.5 million copies, and earned a game ranking score of 87.2% according to Game Developer. Due to the widespread appeal, many gamers now feel a great deal of nostalgia for it in spite of its technical difficulties. Because of this, these fans have been begging Sonic Team to remake Sonic Adventure for years. They argue that a remake without the flaws of the original would be immensely successful, and consumers could finally experience the true vision of the project. Catering to the audience in such a way can do a lot to boost a studio's reputation, especially in the modern gaming environment. It seems that a remake would be easy money for Sonic Team, so why do they refuse to do it? Sonic Team just isn't interested. According to a BBC interview with Sonic Team lead, the studio is disinterested with the proposition of working on remakes. Instead, the team seeks to take advantage of modern technology in order to create richer, more complex, more interesting worlds. The project likely wouldn't be a simple undertaking either, as the original Sonic Adventure was built for the Sega Dreamcast. And as we know, the Dreamcast is the most powerful system on the planet. And don't we dare touch that amazingness. At least that's what modern games would kind of show, because my goodness, we had like 6-7 playable characters in Sonic Adventure. Nowadays, we're lucky if we get 2. Anyways, rant aside. And the remake would need to be geared for modern hardware. An overhaul like this would necessitate a complete reconstruction of the game from the ground up. Instead of using all that time and energy to remake a game that people have already experienced, we could make a brand new game. He stated, I think the team is really interested in taking the same amount of time and energy and effort to really bring a new experience to the players. Sega has other plans underway. So, Kevin, I'm going to give you a word on this. What do you think about this? Do you think they're missing a big opportunity here with the Sonic Adventure remake, or do you think they're wise in maybe setting their energy towards this instead?
How long does it take for them to get out a new Sonic game, on average?
Honestly, not that long here. I know there's a little bit of a gap between Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Forces, but they're very good with his brand, because he's kind of like Mario, to where usually even if there's a gap at a Sonic game, there's usually going to be something ahead. Like they might have like a 2D game that sneaks its way in that might have been shorter development time, or they might see, like right now the one they're pushing a lot is that they're doing the Sonic kart racing game right now, which has Pac-Man crossover elements on it. Oh. But usually it doesn't take any longer than 5 years.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's not too bad. I think it's a little short-sighted, especially because you can farm it out to a smaller studio and let them develop it for you. You just pay attention to what they're doing. We've seen other places do this before. I think this may be more of a there's no one there who knows how to break down that original code, so we're just going to keep saying that it's going to take too much effort. So I think it's more of a I think it's less of a, I think it's more of a skill issue as opposed to a will issue.
Kevin's saying get good. That's what he's saying. No, I'm kidding. But no, I think that's a valid point there. Chase, what do you think of this?
I mean, I think that if it's kind of it all comes back to all these companies just getting rid of developers. You know, they're like, oh, yeah. Like we're just not interested in making money. We all know you're lying. Okay, listen. When something's gonna fly off the shelves, then it's
why the
not
heck
interested.
you
is just
lying?
The way
why you always lying?
They just don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to put in the work. And you know what? If they want to try something new, this is what I was saying earlier. I don't think it's wrong to try something new. You know what? You want to work on new stuff? Great. But it doesn't mean remaking something like this would be a great project as well. So I don't know. That's kind of my stance on it.
I wonder why, I think there's something true to be said there. There's probably no one left at Sega until you're talking about, hey, thanks for the memories. See ya, boy. I don't think there's anyone left at this point that's going to be from that original game. The beauty of say a Nintendo, if I can pull out my good old Nintendo reference guide, because that's my favorite analogy on this show. But they have like a system now where they're trying to teach a lot of young developers, like from the veterans, on like how to make new Mario games. With Sonic, the franchise has changed from so many different hands all throughout the years. Sonic Generations is a good one that just had the remake. Pretty much after that team was done with Sonic Generations, those people who made that game, which was remembered so fondly, they went off of Sega. They went to go develop new projects because they weren't treated or weren't given the same kind of love that you were to think that they would, or maybe the money that they were needing in order to keep going. And it just seems like it's going to be pretty ambitious to make a Sonic Adventure remake in the modern sense, because like compared to like the Final Fantasy VII remake, which is a completely different game, because now so many game projects are just so, they require so much labor, they're so overbloated. They could go the easier route with a remaster, but Sonic Adventure is a core game that, you know, fans want to see some gameplay changes. I know there were some controversies with the Big Cats levels being a little too slow, the Amy Rose levels, which are actually my favorite in the game, but they got some criticisms for being a little too a little weird with some of its gameplay choices. And I would love a perfect world where we can get both. We get the new creative endeavor and we get the games that reunited so many memories. It's going to be a great entry point to a lot of fans. But at the same time, I don't want it to end up like the Silent Hill remake where, oh, they lost the original source code and no one could figure out what to do, so we just had to make a new game. Like, I think there's a lot of red flags here. And honestly, we have the fans now. Like, I don't know if either of you two are familiar with this, but we literally just had the Sonic 06 fan-made remake come out here recently, and it's about almost everything you could want in what Sonic 06 should have been in the first place. Wow. And Sega has been a company that has long been very supportive of fan projects. They're not like Nintendo or other companies. They support Sonic because what's important to them is him and his brand image. And I think until they get some people who might be veterans for it or can truly remember what Sonic Adventure was, I think the fans will take care of the job themselves. I don't think there's a great need for a Sonic Adventure remake. But whatever this new project they have on the horizon, we're definitely going to cover it here on That Game Place. All right, gentlemen. Whoo, boy. I think there's people in the chat that are ready to express their true love for us. Am I wrong on that, Kevin?
I think you are 100% correct. We got a lot of people with a lot of good takes, so let's show them some love.
Yes, let's do it. Chase, you ready for this thing?
From Blue Sharky 38, never speak of Sonic Labyrinth.
Slow, very slow, too slow.
From Zippy, also, you know, the lovely cat icon. Didn't they remaster a few Sonic games and censor them?
Yes, here recently on the Sonic Generations remake, Sonic X Generations, the Sonic story, they decided that it wasn't okay for certain types of gags being in there. A little too much romance between Sonic and Amy apparently was a no-go. They wanted her to be a little more independent. And also, there was a gag about Knuckles, I think, getting thrown into a tree, and I guess it was too violent, so they had to get rid of it. And I'm so disappointed because I like Knuckles violence in my life.
From Davina, I hope the Sonic team is building fun prototypes as we speak. Don't we all? I'd like to think all the teams on the games that we wait for are always working. Okay. You mean Pikmin 4 took how many years to come out? Hopefully you were working that whole time. What were you doing? Okay.
Don't get me started on Miyamoto and his deadlines.
From Donovan, that's interesting that Japan is teaching the younger creators with vets. In the U.S., that happens. In the U.S., that happens. You think you're training your replacements because you are. Yeah.
I'm going to make a very dangerous take because I'm going to make a sports analogy, and that might run off every single gamer here. Don't worry, the sports won't hurt you people. But it's almost like in the West, like you're training, like a quarterback is training like his backup, who's eventually going to be his replacement. And some people are like, yeah, I'll be nice and train him. Other people are like, no, I won't teach him a thing. And I feel like that's what's happened to Western gaming is like they don't go into it and think, oh, I'm going to be with this company for the rest of my life. And I think that's something that hurts just Western companies in general. Am I wrong on that, Kevin?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But it's to me, it's especially baffling that this culture exists in gaming, right? Because you would think that once you have a team that has mastered the formula, gives you a bona fide hit, you don't want to hold on to them. and the aim should always be to be constantly evolving, but you throw them out the door and you have to start over again. So it's a little weird to me. I really wish that some of that Eastern influence to start creeping its way back into the Western gaming companies, because there is something to say for that stability, and knowing that the people who are there are going to be passing down that knowledge.
Well said. Very well said. And well, I'm glad you're talking about, the East and the West, because that actually is very relevant to our next story here. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right, coming at us once again from That Park Place by the wonderful Marvin Montanaro. I hear the man is pretty hot. No, kidding. He's a good man. Good man right here. Rumor, Sony could ditch Western studios. May shift to Japanese devs and traditional stories for exclusives if Ghost of Yotai and Intergalactic The Heretic Prophet fail. Oh my goodness. Marvin's got a good story here for us. A source close to Sony tells That Park Place, so we have an exclusive here, everybody, that internal discussions in Japan suggest a major strategic reset could be coming for PlayStation's exclusive lineup. According to our sources, both Ghost of Yotai and Sucker Punch and Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet from Naughty Dog, are being viewed as last chances for Western developers to land major exclusives under the Sony company's current direction. Well, that's not catastrophic at all, is it? Okay. One source claimed. Another rumor I am also hearing is that Naughty Dog's Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, and Ghost of Yotai are the last chance for these Western developers. If they fail, after Sony is going full focus on Japanese developers, instead go back to traditional stories and characters. They're citing China winning on the gaming market with Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. Wukong and Wuthering Waves as a reason to change. Okay, so this is a lot to unpack. While That Park Place cannot independently verify these internal discussions, the claim lines up with growing speculation that Sony Japan is regaining control of PlayStation's long-term creative strategy, pushing back against Western studios whose productions have become more expensive and less universally appealing. Okay, Kevin, this is a lot to unpack, and I'm really excited to see what your take on all this is. Are you shocked that Sony's actually perhaps going to make this move?
No, I mean, I think this rumor's been floating around for a little bit. Sony's tired of losing money, and all the damage is coming from, the U.S. side of it with all this, with the chasing of the message and all this other crap. The AAA side of things has been an unmitigated disaster for quite some time now. Now you have what Naughty Dog used to be a revered studio. It's borderline a joke. Ghost of Yotai was a brutal embarrassment for them. It's one of those there's only but so many times you're gonna let yourself get punched in the face before you decide that maybe I need to step to the left a little bit. But
Kevin, I can punch you in the face again. This is what Sony wants to do.
Well, listen, if Sony wants to go punch their U.S. division in the face, I'm all for it. Because they don't seem to want to be learning the lesson. I don't know how many times you could put out a bomb and then expect everybody to be like, "Oh, we'll give you guys another chance." It's no diminishing returns is not good for business.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you're officially that guy. Just saying. Chase, are you surprised that Sony is going to make or might be making this change depending on how these games perform? What's your take on all this?
Well, it made me actually think of what when I think of Sony as a company, the person at the very bottom, I wonder what their mindset is, because they're probably a person going into work and wow, I get to work at Sony and develop these games. But then it's management at the top's you have to do this and you have to do this, and you have to do this and do this and do this and do this. And so it's like sucks the life out of the job. And so all the creative portion of the like doing, the whole point of making like the game or something's all gone. And so it's like this one, like all these people that work in these companies, it's so sad to hear that they might have to lose their job because of an upper management decision. That's kind of what it made me think of, like thinking about all these developers, and it's like we're just doing what we're told, but unfortunately what they're being told might cost them.
And do you realize how scary that must be? Like, Kevin, Chase, could you imagine being a Sony developer, like someone who's just like, maybe they just had their first day at Sony, despite all the layoff headlines we've had the past 5 years. It's like, oh boy, you know what? I'm okay. Stellar Blade was kind of cool. Maybe we're going in a good direction. And then you get this bombshell that you might not even have a job here a few months from now. Is that scary?
The future's looking bright, Billy. Pay no attention to him.
The fire, don't look at the fire.
As the CEO be like, it's all fine, guys, it's all fine. Oh wait, no, that camera was on Xbox Studio. Let me pivot it back to PlayStation. It's all fine, guys, it's all fine. But yeah, I can't believe this. Like, I have had some criticisms for Sony in the West ever since like a few years ago when it happened, because I felt like it hurt the PlayStation brand a lot from how I remembered it. But I cannot deny, like they've had some decent sales figures here, and I feel like my words only had so much weight. But now, seeing this kind of news, maybe these words, you all turn into these shows and, we say our own personal viewpoints on like, hey, this is my perspective from a gamer. This is my opinion on the financials and stuff. We're not Sony. And at the end of the day, you're getting takes. But it really shows that there's more weight to what we're telling y'all than what you might think. Because now Sony's like, yeah, this stuff ain't slapping, man. Like, I think we are keeping you ahead on like where the industry could truly be going. And they say, stuff like doesn't usually break apart overnight. There's usually several warnings going on in the industry. Am I wrong on that, Chase?
No, I mean, it starts internally, It starts with someone saying, oh, how can we make more money even though I have so many zeros on my paycheck I can't even just like the Xbox Game Pass. It's like it all comes back to corporate greed, which is just so sad that we're so affected by it in America. It's not even just gaming, it's everywhere, like
absolutely.
McDonald's. Okay, listen, if I'm spending $15 for a cheeseburger, I'm going to Applebee's. I don't know what y'all do.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm paying that extra money, I'm going to try to pay for some service or an alternate route, that could be like, hey, maybe instead of paying like $80, $90 for the new game that just came out, like, hey, maybe I'll go support this indie dev. I can't remember the exact price of, Chase, do you remember Hollow Knight, the new Hollow Knight game? Do you remember what that was retailing at by chance? I know, like, that was a smaller studio, much, much smaller than what we're used to in the industry. And people are going, hey, instead of paying like
you're talking about the
$1 million for this. Yes, the brand new one. Instead of paying like $1 million for this new game, hey, let's go for like an indie dev.
It looks like on Steam, it's $20.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't even get started. Steam just had like a huge autumn sale. You know how they do their sales all the time. I'm sure it was on sale list too. Even if it was only a few bucks, it was already $20. It's like, at that point,
competition is very good for like the industry. And Kevin, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a different take here with the Sony thing too. With the future, do you think this might be a good move for the company? Because especially with like Hollow Knight, do you think this competition might finally get Sony to wake up? Because I feel like Xbox is a corpse, but this company, I feel like there's some hope. What's your take here? Is it dead or are we good?
No, the competition is a good thing, right? The Xbox is essentially a walking corpse, and Nintendo is its own thing altogether. So essentially, Sony's really just kind of competing with itself, and if you're the only one running the race, you're not running that hard. So kind of shaking things up, trimming some fat, realigning things, and understanding, hey, China is now becoming a viable competitor. They've had a hell of a year. They've had a hell of a year. So if this means it's time to get back to basics and start, again, get back to innovating, get back to getting games out faster, stop worrying about overpaying a bunch of celebrities to voice your games and get focusing on the quality storytelling and making games pretty again.
Kevin, I know games used to only take 2 to 3 years to make, and we use the old engines, but we could have Willem Dafoe's face kind of sort of on our game character, and then the game character looks nothing like him.
Oh God, I'd rather just, let's just go back to Nolan North, just doing everybody's voice. But,
we're gonna say Chase.
Kevin brought up a really good point. How if it's the only one running the race, then how fast are you actually running, kind of thing. So like that kind of made me think. I'm a big Overwatch fan, and that's been my game for years. And for the longest time, the Overwatch team kind of got lazy for a little bit and kind of got comfortable. And it was about season 13, so maybe a few years ago. And it was dry. That game was going downhill, but it had no competition. So, nobody else had anything else to play until Marvel Rivals came out. That game exploded, and it lit a fire under the Overwatch team's belt. And now the game has been better than it's ever been before. And so I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing with Sony. They kind of realize they don't have competition right now. And so they're kind of really relaxed. And it's, now who pays for it right now? The consumer just puts up with it, but if they need a little bit more competition, they need to get that competition in there because it's healthy. And it's what keeps the games, keeps what things moving.
Here's a question for all of you guys. In Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, what was the last thing he mentioned in that song? Do you guys remember?
It was already burning since the world's been turning. Okay.
Yes. No, the last examples, he says, Cola Wars. I can't take it anymore. The Cola Wars were just that iconic. Everyone remember Coke versus Pepsi and Nintendo versus Sega. And like I said before, enough of these buddy, like Xbox wants to buy Nintendo. Oh, we're going to have Halo or something on the Nintendo systems one day. Or, let's get Steve in Minecraft and Smash Bros. Forget that, okay? I want to go back to the days of Crash Bandicoot going outside of the Nintendo headquarters and being like, hey, plumber boy, your greatest enemy has arrived. That's what I miss, and that's what I long for. So, hey, competition's good, and I think a lot of people in the gaming sphere tend to agree with that. So, hey, this might be the breaking point. I think there's really something to what Chase was saying. Like, this might be the thing that could get them, to get their stuff together, but only time will tell. Like, I think Kevin's got some good takes with that, and only the future will be the deciding factor here. And once we know how these games perform, we're gonna be the first to tell you about it here on That Game Place. All right, we are about to talk about something really, really weird coming up here. Like one of the weirdest things ever, and Kevin knows what I'm talking about. But before we get that, we need to talk a bit about some takes in the chat because I've been seeing a lot of different things going on here. It's kind of cray-cray. So let's go ahead and bring up our first chat here.
Again, from Donovan, this is a big-time reality. My cousin worked on the Hellboy PS3 game. It was fun, but didn't sell, and that main developer went broke after release. These are sad realities.
Well said. Like, what's so just sad with gaming studios, there's such a high gamble is, a movie studio, they can have like 5 bombs in a year, and then they'll be like, hey guys, we're making a new Tomb Raider movie, we're still doing it. Gaming studios, it's like, hey guys, remember that game from 3 years ago? Yeah, we're still bleeding. It sucked. Guys, help.
From Blue Sharky 38, when can we replace the stupid higher ups with AI that treats employees better than better and actually does the job?
Yeah, so it seems like all the small people are getting replaced with AI, but yet the people who greenlit this stuff in the first place are sticking around. Am I wrong on that, Kevin?
No, unfortunately you're on the money. You're on the money, and I think that is a big part of the problem. Is let's take EA for example, right? We all know what EA used to be. It used to be the fun company, it used to be the gamer-driven company, and then a couple of CEOs later, now it is a DLC for profiteering, and break your back, break your back if you if we can't break your bank account first. So it's like there's got to be a happy medium. And I don't know. I wake up every day hoping to see that there was a regime change. So if you can replace it with an AI chatbot, I'm all for it.
Want to buy The Sims 4? Just give me $1,000 for all the DLCs in the game, and that's accurate. It's over $1,000. It's crazy.
Evan, I think Chase just unintentionally. I think Trish is somewhere out in the world, and she senses a disturbance when it comes to The Sims being price gouged to heck and back.
Trish stood up like Michael Keaton in Batman '89 when the bat signal went off.
Oh my goodness, we got another one here coming from Striker X31. If you'd like to share, there, Chase.
Them getting okay, what is it?
Anata?
The Anata game on their system should be an eye opener from the trailer reaction. Anata game.
That might be pretty fascinating.
I'd have to look into that one to see.
Dang.
From Davina, yes, competition is good. I agree. You know, I feel like competition is what drives the game, but now hopefully they just figure that out before it's too late. Hopefully the competition starts, because if it doesn't, then it's going to be, well, that was, you don't want your competitor to blow you out of the water when you're not in the water anymore. From Blue,
I think Microsoft's strategy is like, hey, let's not even build a boat anymore. Let's just swim. Let's see what happens.
Swim in the middle of the ocean, though. You know, we're not going to be close to the beach.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's not like the deep philosophical things of like, young grasshopper, you must follow the winds to where you go. No, Xbox is more like, hey, let's put a bunch of blood all over our bodies and jump in shark-infested water and see what happens. That's Xbox.
From Blue Sharky 38, maybe all the little people will form their own company. Hey, I've seen a lot of people go to major. Okay, when I say a lot of people, this is stories I've heard. I don't know people, but I've heard a lot of people who have worked for major companies just to learn, because that is one thing about major companies. They have the resources to teach people. And so I've heard of people who've taken that information and gone to do their own thing. And I think that's great.
You know, that's actually really fascinating too, because, you know, I'm sure, Kevin, you'll know this especially, you know, with how many times we're reporting on headlines like, Disney's losing 400 animators as we speak in recent layoffs. Those are all humans, people, souls, brains, you know, all that. How long is it going to take before one of them's just like, enough, I'm going to try something? Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott, he was like, what? Was he like one dude developing FNAF, or like a small team at least? Like, he went on and made a phenomenon. So what's going to stop these people, these creative people who've had at least some time in the industry, from creating something? So Chase, I really think you got something going on there with that
indie games are really blowing up recently. I mean, games, I don't know if you've kept up with them, but like games like Peak has blown up. Repo was another indie game. That game absolutely took over the charts. There's a lot of indie games that have been coming up more recently that are bringing in some competition.
All right, so it's time to talk about the weirdest thing I have seen all day. And I live in the 2025, so it is a very weird thing usually every day. But everybody, okay, coming at us from IGN, says, Nintendo new animated short has fans baffled, whether it's a Super Mario Galaxy movie teaser or a hint at Pikmin 5. The story goes on to say, Nintendo has just released a mysterious animated short film with no explanation, leaving fans wondering whether it's a tease for the upcoming Super Mario Galaxy movie or a hint at a new Pikmin game. At just under 4 minutes in length, the dialogue-free animation titled Close to You sees a blonde toddler taking their first steps as the pacifier is mysteriously picked up by an invisible force. Nintendo fans will note several musical cues from Pikmin series as the pacifier is picked up and seemingly carried away, though no Pikmin can actually be seen. At the same time, some Nintendo fans have said the child could be a Space Princess Rosalina. Wow, that is the title. It's like, hey, welcome to the stream. What's your name? Space Princess Rosalina. I like that. Who is surely set to debut in next year's Super Mario Galaxy movie. Without any explanation at all from Nintendo itself, this is clearly something fans are being left to ponder about by themselves, though IGN has contacted Nintendo for more. Certainly, the pacifier's movements really do look like they could be made by a band of Pikmin carrying the item aloft, and several Pikmin games have indeed tasked players with squirreling away household items, and indeed, Pikmin 4 even tasked players with venturing inside a human house for the first time. The Pikmin series has always been set on Earth, with Pikmin themselves, YouTube, with Pikmin themselves, sorry guys, I had a pop-up happen there. Yeah, we'll just have, okay, sorry. So the Pikmin series has had a lot of different tasks. Sorry, Paige, you have an issue. Okay, the Pikmin series has had a lot of different tasks over the years. Kevin, I want you to go first here. What's going on? Why are we looking at a baby? Why is there a baby on randomly uploaded to my Nintendo YouTube channel without comments on, so I have no idea what's going on?
At first I was like, okay, maybe there's musical cues that tell us what's going on. Maybe this is the confirmation that Rosalina is the daughter of Luigi and Peach. The I don't know. This could be anything. It's Nintendo. This someone could have just woken up and said, "Hey, what if we make a short about a baby with a superpowered pacifier?" And it's a Metroid preview. Who knows?
It's a Metroid. It's Baby Samus. You know, it's like fooled you. We're making a Metroid animated movie. But
it's Metroid babies.
I was gonna, Chase, I want to know your first take on this, because we got an update coming on here, and I know the chat's actually taking wind of what's going on, but I was pretty excited to reveal it here on stream. Have you seen the comments on this yet?
I can see what's going on in the chat.
Yeah, so I think this is a beautiful time, because it's finally time that we're going to find out what this baby is, and I'm glad I have the Pikmin expert here, because ladies and gentlemen, telling it you now, posted, Nintendo reveals mysterious animated short is indeed a new Pikmin tease. Everybody, it's real. Pikmin is happening. You are not dreaming. Pikmin is indeed happening.
I can't wait. 15 years. Start the countdown.
Oh my gosh. No.
Somewhere more
okay.
screaming and Fish is cheering.
Yes. I love Pikmin. It makes me happy. So, an update from Nintendo has now clarified the nature of this week's two Close to You shorts films. And sadly, it doesn't sound like Pikmin 5 is yet on the way. What? Okay. All right. We have a lot to unpack here, and I'm going to need to end this without me throwing my computer outside of the window. So let me read this wonderful article from IGN by the wonderful Tom Phillips, and I'm going to pass the mic to my Pikmin expert, Chase, here, and I am going to meditate and hope that Pikmin will indeed be making a return. Anyways, Nintendo has just revealed a fresh version of yesterday's mysterious animated short film, Close to You, that featured a toddler taking their first steps. Now with a small army of Pikmin visible, which, by the way, if you've seen that animated film, it makes you want to cry. It's so cute. To be clear, this is the same short film as yesterday, albeit a new version where previously invisible Pikmin creatures can now be seen and heard. It's a small reveal by Nintendo, and one which rewards repeat viewing. And now the familiar toddler unknowingly interacts with and almost squashes the hidden creatures. Currently, Nintendo's new Pikmin-filmed version of the film is only available via the company's Nintendo Today smartphone app, though we're expecting it to roll out more widely very shortly. Yesterday's original version of the animation lies just below, with Pikmin still invisible. Yesterday, IGN speculated, so it goes into the speculation territory, and why exactly did Nintendo put this out on their phone? And that is going to be my question for you. I'm going to get some screenshots here of what exactly is going on. But Chase, you're the Pikmin expert. What is this film, and why is Nintendo giving me invisible Pikmin instead of my Pikmin 5?
Well, the first thing is, have you ever started uploading a video and realized it was the wrong one? That better be the reason.
Wait, you're telling me there was like an unpaid intern or something like that? And like, they're like, okay, we have the version with the Pikmin assets and the version without the Pikmin assets. And it's like, oh, darn, what did I do? What did I do?
Who did this? This is sick. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I think it's funny. You know what the funny thing is? It's still up on their channel. You know?
And so I'm assuming,
and
I would just
this
have to
one's
assume
not
that,
on their channel, correct?
no, this one's only on the smartphone app. So were they trying to pivot more people to do it? But it's such an elaborate thing just for a phone ploy, and without a new game even being announced. Like, I would think that they would be trying to do this for like a Pikmin 5, where it's like, oh, you have Pikmin and they can turn invisible. Because the sword itself was already so cute, but why go to the route of making invisible? Like, look at this. There are a million Pikmin here. What is going on?
See, here's what had to happen. Okay, here's my thinking. You know, like sometimes you ever think like something really small happens, but it's gonna be like 100 years later. It's gonna be in the history books, and it's gonna be like, it's the whole thing with the English teacher. Okay, it's like, why did Shakespeare write? He leapt into her arms. And like just in the past, he's like, oh, that would be good. That fits here. And it's like, because he had so much emotion. It's, you know, it's like they're pulling nothing out of something or something out of nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? And so it's like, you know, watch it actually be like this. It was actually intended to be with the Pikmin. I would laugh so hard if it was something like that. And all these now, like, you can already look. There's so many videos. There's so many different like posts about it. It's like, oh, here's why they did it. Here's blah, 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 blah. And it's like, imagine it was actually just, it was a mistake. I would laugh so hard. All these controversies debunked.
I would love that so much. Kevin, give me your take. Why do we have Pikmin and Baby in my day? I just wanted to have a normal day, but instead I get Baby.
Because Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. That's all I got for you. Unless I'm kind of hoping, like, so are the Pikmin gonna be protecting a baby? Like, are we going to kind of change up the formula a little bit? Because I think that could be fun.
The baby's going to eat the
That
Pikmin.
would be a great game. Please elaborate more. I want to see that.
You know, something happens to mom and the Pikmin come and rescue this little baby. And, you know, it's the job of the Pikmin to keep the kid alive versus you keeping the Pikmin alive. I think that'd be fun.
I love that. I love that so much. I think that would be amazing. Like, you know, we've had 4 Pikmin games under our belt. We don't talk about Hey Pikmin. We don't. So we had, you know, a lot of times where it's like, you go to planet, you get ship part, you get treasure, you go about, you ride dog now, you still get treasure. You know, this would be a fun, creative, new type of thing to happen. Chase, do you think this is going to have anything to do with Pikmin 5, despite what IGN's trying to talk about? Or is someone at Nintendo just trying to be cute?
I think this probably has nothing to do with Pikmin 5. I think it's just one of those random shorts they do for Pikmin every once in a while just to promote the series. But I will say, Pikmin 5 Final Boss Baby, get the pacifier for $1 million. There we go. Final Boss Baby.
Is the baby? No. The baby is the creepy PlayStation 3 baby from those ads, if any of you guys remember that. You have to fight the evil baby. Maybe it has like spider legs like the boss of Pikmin 2. I'd be all for that. But hey, it's cute. It's wholesome. And you know, with everything going on in the world right now, it's nice to have something that's like, hey, babies, Pikmin, like, let's do some stuff that's going to make people happy. And, you know, if that was Nintendo's goal here, well, I think they got more confusion than wholesomeness, but I think they succeeded. My only question is, where is Pikmin 5? But when it happens, we'll talk about it here on That Game Place. Yeah, 20 years from now. We'll talk about 20 years from now, because that's how long these stupid games take to make. All right, we're going to have, you know what? We are going to call that our last story of the day here, everybody. I appreciate all of you coming around today, but I got to do some promotion stuff here. So before we get into that, let me bring up some chats, and then we'll do some plugs, and we'll bail on out of this thing. Chase, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got some music in this thing. From Blue Shark 38. I hope the Bulbmen are in the next game. I miss those mutant freaky friends. I agree. I also hope they are there.
Freaky friends. That's what I'm gonna start calling them from now. Like,
wow, the PS3 baby was 2006. That's from Davina.
Oh my gosh. Kevin, did you get the PS3 like right when it came out?
I did.
Was it worth it?
No.
See, that's when the 360 had the upper leg.
But but it was all about 360 then. So
I guess anything can happen. Just watch it come out crazy. Now the 362. Okay. From Donovan, I'm an Overlord fan, so Pikemen for adults.
I like it. I like it. Let's see. Okay.
From Striker X31, the theory is that they bought Dynamo Pictures so they can keep their IP properties in-house when they make stuff like shows and movies.
Very good theory. Very good theory. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, who makes a huge difference as always. I always say thank you a million times, but the reason I say that is because you guys are great. You really fund all these channels across That Park Place as a whole entity, and we can't do it without you. It's like when Pro always talked about you guys being the gigawatts, you guys are literally the backbone. Without it, you know what? I would be talking to a brick wall. Chase and Kevin would probably take me to a medical institution because I'd be screaming about Pikmin all day. So I gotta say I appreciate you. But first up, let's take a minute before we go to promote some of our wonderful panelists here, starting out with Kevin Apollo. Kevin, tell us about where we can find you on YouTube and what you got going on.
Yeah, so Tuesdays and Friday evenings, you can see me with Lauren Carmen, or when we host the Lauren and Apollo, was 11 p.m. And then soon, very super soon, we're going to drop a couple of House of Apollo videos. They got to grab you so that we can do our Simpsons video. So I'm hoping to drop a couple of those videos at least by the end of next week. And then, do we have enough time? I'll give you an exclusive.
Yes, please, Kevin.
Throw it here in the private chat, and you can share with everybody.
Okay, let me get this ready. Give me 1 second, folks.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
I wish I could clip that. You don't know how much I want to clip that, Chase. Okay, I just need like an original. We'll get a TJP version. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get the mailing of this. Okay, Graham's gonna Instagram. Okay, here we go.
Graham's gonna Instagram.
Okay, all right. Kevin, walk us through this a bit.
All right, so this is the theme song and logo for the channel.
Oh snap! Logo reveal.
Video does not have any sound. I don't have the theme song for it.
Oh, poop. All right. It worked for Lauren. We forgot to play it last night, though. Well, at least there's the logo.
Hey, but the logo looks
you have
really
a video
nice.
file I might be able to share?
Oh, you know what? I have a WAV file. Will that work?
Oh, perfect. If you want to share a screen and if you have it on Chrome with audio, I can get it and play it for our wonderful audience. People, you are getting an exclusive. Eat your heart out, Lauren Apollo Pro Show, because this show has the announcement of Kevin, baby.
I see. Let me find it. My desktop is a bloody train wreck. Oh.
I just got word for the Pro Show. We're told we're not allowed to say "eat your heart out." Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Let's see. Where we are. Video file. Or will it be mad about the WAV file? I don't know. Hold on. Working on it. Wasn't prepared to do this.
No, you're absolutely fine. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect on the House of Apollo?
A little bit of everything. I give up.
Oh man, so much for our exclusive. Now Lauren's gonna get the exclusive. All right. Well,
we'll do a little bit of everything. We'll talk about pop culture, some news, some fun world news, some basic conversation. You know how I like to do things. Keep it fun and exciting. You never know who's going to show up.
Can I say, your stuff for it looks extremely professional, and you always have like such really cool takes on this stuff. So I really think it could really go a long way on like the entertainment that people need to be seeing. So hey, I'm wishing you nothing but the best for this, man. I think it's going to be a really great time.
Oh, I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, and that logo looks nice.
I know one of my wrestling buddies, if you ever watched, he was on a reality show, Extreme Cheapskates. He was cheapest wrestler in the world. So he in his everyday life does phenomenal video production and just graphic design. So I was like, hey, I need a song. and he was like, I'll get, I'm going to get to it this weekend. Send me the link to your description site. He read the channel, and then within I want to say about an hour later, he had the hook written, and I'm like, this sounds cool. And then by the end of the day, he's like, here it is. I'm ready for it right now. my son's been singing it all day. I'm like, oh
awesome.
And you know what? This song is awesome. So I'm excited to share.
All right. But you know what's also awesome, Kevin, as I do the best segue on YouTube? Chase is awesome. Chase, where can the wonderful people find you on this great, big, beautiful web?
So I'm actually not on YouTube, but I am on Twitch, twitch.tv/HeyI'mEnder. That's my channel right there. So you'll see my little emo on the front. Now, what you don't hear is throughout this stream, I've been using my soundboard in my own ears. And so whenever we had a really great comment, I have this clapping sound effect that goes off just automatically. And so some of you guys just randomly got a round of applause for your comments. And I know you don't know about that, but just know now that was happening in my ears. They were clapping. Okay. But that's where you can find me. I'm on Twitch. I stream sporadically right now. It's I feel like the thing with streaming is, I want to stream when I feel inspired to. And so that's kind of what I'm up to right now. But yeah.
I've been seeing some of the stuff with your community and stuff and the engagement you've been getting. And a lot of people, you are building a really good community there. People seem like they really, it's authentic and it's got a lot of fun. I see some people and they're like, yeah, I'm a streamer. And it's this is about as boring as walking through Walmart, but yours are actually fun and
I'm here to talk with people. I just want to talk with people, learn about them, play games together. That's kind of my vibe. I'm not in it for, I'm not here to make money right now. I'm here to I just want to meet people. And I think it's fun to connect with people through gaming because that's what I love to do. So
passion. That's what's missing in the industry right now is passion. If you want passion, Chase has it. And I also like to take a minute to promote him too, because Chase has been a long time been a collaborator with me on Lost in the Files. He's helped do some scripts and stuff like that. The dude's got wicked talent. So sometimes, a lot of his work you'll see in my own productions too. But please check out his streams and stuff. And thank you, Chase, for taking the time to come on the show with us. It was nice to have a guest here going on. And hopefully we did not scare you off.
Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Now, I have one more thing I would like to plug. And while I'm checking that, I'll go ahead and bring this up here. Davina, I just want to say always thank you so much for your time. Kevin, it seems like she's got your accolade. She's pretty happy with what you're working on. So
nice.
I got to say, I think the public is really excited for the show. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope so, at least. So, and that's bear with me. I'm learning as I'm going. So as I get it figured out, we're going to do some cool stuff.
Well, Davina, walking through Walmart might get exciting for the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah. I think Walmart owes us some endorsement money too.
Oh yeah, no, they're not getting. I think Target gets mine because of much I'm always badmouthing Walmart. But besides that, so if you want to see my work, you can find me over at my channel, youtube.com/Nolan Thunder in my series Lost in the Files. I talk about video game mysteries and internet mysteries and all sorts of fun stuff. You don't even have to be a gamer to enjoy this. If you like documentaries or mockumentaries, it's got a little bit of stuff from everyone. It's a mix of B-movie horror, comedy, and documentary. I try to do what I can. It doesn't matter if you're that baby or that mom in that Pikmin short. There's gonna be something intriguing to it, And I have a new documentary out right now on Super Mario 64 and how it was allegedly built with an evil artificial intelligence that led to stroke and seizure-like symptoms in its playtesters. So making the AI apparently made every copy different from the last. So if that sort of thing appeals to you, please check it out. In fact, our wonderful here, Kevin Apollo actually did some voice work for it. So, and Chase has actually been a longtime helper on the show as well, so check that out. Also, I wanted to share with everyone here before we dip out. Today is actually my 14-year anniversary from when I first made my YouTube account. I actually said it during Lauren and Apollo Late Nights, which you should totally check out, by the way. It's been a long ride, and YouTube journey is a very interesting life, but I'll tell you, I'm happy I spent so much time in it. You know, there's been hurdles, there's been difficulties, but I've made some amazing connections with people because of it. Like, without it, I would never know Kevin, Lauren, Pro, Jonas, any of them. So I just want to say, I've been getting some people saying congrats on the 14 years, and thank you. Now, this channel is deceiving. This was not my first channel, so if you think I'm a liar and a hack like I'm out of Microsoft, no, that's not what I'm going for at all. But yeah, so if you want to check out my little documentaries, please check me out at Nolan Thunder and my series Lost in the Files. I got B-movie horror synthesizer soundtrack, so if you vibe with that, please check it out. It's a vibe. Also, one question before we go. Zippy coming out here again. Thank you for all the support today. What's Apollo's YouTube channel? Cannot find.
Oh, well, let me go to it, and I will throw it in the chat so that you can share it.
Perfect. And Miss Julia has been given a lot of links to a lot of the shows going on here, and I will include another link here for Chase here, so you can check out his streams. Kevin's got one for his YouTube channel coming up here, so please be sure to check out our wonderful panelists. We'll be back next week, Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A lot of big gaming news coming up. I know Matt Pat has been announced for being in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, and we should have Culture back next week. So thank you all for coming. I hope your weekend is amazing and stellar ahead of you. Blades aren't the only thing that's stellar around here. You guys are stellar. So thank you so much for checking us out at That Game Place. We got to run, but just want to let you guys always know, thank you so much. And as we like to say around here, get your game on!
Stay fresh.